Adam froze. Referral couple? Jeff, are we human coupons? Jeff laughed nervously, slapping Adam on the back. He's a kid, Adam. He wears a name tag. He's confused. Let's go hit the pool. Marco Polo. But the damage was done. Throughout the weekend, the tension simmered. While Jeff was busy doing battle with a sales rep named Gary, the girls were having their own awkward encounter in the spa. Jen and Audrey were sitting in the hot tub, the steam rising around them. So Jen said, trying to break the silence, "Audrey, have you ever noticed that Adam's mom is, well, very comfortable with her body? Like, aggressively comfortable?" Audrey laughed. "You mean the fact that she treats clothes as optional equipment? She was naked in the kitchen this morning." Audrey, making kale smoothies. "I didn't know where to look. I ended up staring at the toaster for 10 minutes. The toaster. It was the most interesting thing in the room. It's the hippie upbringing." Audrey said, "Jeff's mom is the opposite. She thinks a clean house and a dry martini are the only things a woman needs. I'd almost prefer the nudity to the judgment." Chapter 5. The Super Sperm Saga. Back in the city, a new drama was unfolding. Jeff and Audrey had been trying for a baby, and the results of Jeff's fertility test were finally in. Jeff sat in the doctor's office, looking uncharacteristically humbled. When the doctor walked in, Jeff braced for the worst. "Well, Mr. Bingham," the doctor said, looking at the chart, "I don't usually use these words, but you have super sperm." Jeff's head snapped up. "Super? Like, do they have tiny capes? Are they flying in there? Your count and motility are off the charts. It's like a koi pond down there. Very healthy, very fast." Jeff didn't walk out of the doctor's office. He floated. He arrived at the local diner where the group was meeting for lunch. His chest puffed out so far, he looked like a pigeon in a tuxedo. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jeff announced, sliding into the booth, "you are looking at an optimal male. A specimen of biological perfection. My guys are faster than a speeding bullet." Audrey groaned. "Oh no, he's going to put it on a t-shirt, isn't he? Super sperm." Audrey, the doctor's words, not mine. "I'm basically a superhero whose power is extremely specific and currently localized in my briefs. Please stop talking," Jen begged, covering her eyes. "I'm eating an omelet." But Jeff couldn't be stopped. He told the doorman. He told the mailman. He almost told a woman at the bus stop. But Audrey pulled him away before he could get arrested. However, the super status came with a price. A few days later, Jen brought over a gift for Audrey, a fertility idol. "It's been in my family for years," Jen explained. "Everyone who has it gets pregnant within 2 months. My cousin had it and got twins. Her husband was pissed because he was out of town for 6 months. But the idol is the real deal." Audrey looked at the small, carved wooden figure. It was hideous. It had a bulbous head and a very prominent everything. "It's lovely, Jen," Audrey lied. I'll put it somewhere where the sunlight doesn't hit it. Ever. Jeff, of course, thought the idol was a joke. It looks like a potato with a grudge. We don't need magic, Audrey. We have the optimal male. My guys are probably doing laps in there right now. But then, tragedy struck. While porn-swaying his opposite technique Jeff invented to rearrange furniture so no one could see his computer screen, he accidentally knocked the idol off the shelf. It shattered into a dozen pieces. Jeff froze. Oh, crap. That's bad mojo. When Audrey found out, she was surprisingly upset. Jeff, that was a gift. And what if you just broke our luck? What if your guys just hit a brick wall? It's an accident. I'll glue it back together. I'm an optimal male. I can handle a little with glue. It'll be like the Bionic Man. We can make it better, stronger, faster. Chapter 6, The Leprosy of Literacy. Russell Dunbar, the group's resident wealthy bachelor and part-time sociopath, was in a state of rare philanthropic fervor. Or, more accurately, he was trying to sleep with a woman named Clarissa who sat on the board of a major charity. It's the Gentle Embrace Society, Russell explained to the group as they gathered at a black tie gala. An amazing organization that does so much for children and animals. I don't know. I stopped reading after I saw Clarissa's photo in page 6. You're a pig, Russell, Jen said, though she was impressed by the ballroom's grandeur. I'm a benefactor. I sponsored this table. Now, everyone, act classy. Audrey, try not to talk about corn. Adam, don't use the word dude for at least an hour. The night was a whirlwind of champagne and high society posturing. Jennifer had brought an ex-boyfriend named Drake to the event, hoping to make Adam a little jealous. Drake was 6'4", a former model, and had the intellectual depth of a bird bath. So, Drake, Adam said, standing on his tiptoes, "You're a lifestyle coach. What does that even mean? You tell people to wake up in the morning. It means I help people achieve their best self, bro," Drake said, flashing a blindingly white smile. Like, you have a lot of tension in your shoulders. You need to release the beast. I'll release the beast on your nose, Adam muttered. Meanwhile, Jeff was struggling with a different beast, hunger. He was trying to lose 10 pounds for a life insurance physical and hadn't eaten since Thursday. He was currently hallucinating that the centerpieces were made of bread. Is that Kobe beef? Jeff whispered, watching a waiter pass by. It smells like heaven. It smells like purpose. Stay strong, Jeff, Audrey said. Think of the optimal male category. Optimal male is dead. Audrey, he died with the potato idol. I want that beef. I'll trade you my watch for a slider. The climax of the evening came when Russell was called to the stage. Clarissa had been impressed by his passion for the cause, largely fueled by Audrey's mischievous lies about Russell's history of charity work. And now, the MC announced our newest board member, Russell Dunbar. Russell straightened his tuxedo and stepped to the microphone, He looked out at the sea of wealthy donors. Thank you. Thank you. When I first heard about the work being done here,